everyone. Welcome back to the Shine Your Light podcast with myself, Gilbert, and Stacy, co-host. So today on our show, we're going to be welcoming Miriam, who through a difficult personal journey and the power of divine connection, she recovered from a life-threatening illness.
Thanks, Gil. Miriam's going to tell us how her spiritual discipline, including prayer, daily affirmations, which are super important to her. I believe she used the book, Louise Hay, How to Heal Your Life.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. And I know one of your favorites too. And spending time in nature, which is something I love to do, helped to heal her physical symptoms, brought more love and joy into her life, and shifted her whole outlook. So I really look forward to listening to Miriam, hearing her story, and welcome.
Thank you again for joining us. Let's all welcome Miriam.
Welcome to the Shine Your Light podcast, Miriam. And I don't want to mangle your last name.
Respes.
Respes.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Stacy, how are you doing? Good morning.
I'm doing
Good
good.
morning.
Hi, I'm Stacy, and this is Clover. Ow.
Hi, Clover.
Hello, Clover.
Jumping around in the background.
Yeah, a lot of times we might see a tail
Okay.
kind of coming through the screen, and
Little
it's just
tail.
a little
No, that's-
personality.
Okay.
Hi, Clover.
Yeah.
Um,
She's quite demanding.
Yeah. So, Stacy, I was sharing with you a little bit about Miriam and how we bumped into each other at the Cooper River Park, here in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and we just started chatting. And a few weeks ago, and she was sharing with me her beautifully inspiring journey that she's been, just going along and opening up, and all the realizations, and a major health condition that came her way. And immediately, I'd say within a few seconds, I could feel Miriam's light. I could feel her passion, and yeah, Stacy, I think her story absolutely, wants to be shared with you and with everyone. And she agreed to do a podcast with us.
All right. Thank
So
you so much,
welcome, Miriam.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's an honor to
Thank
meet
you.
you. Thank you.
Just love to, kind of learn a little bit about you, before you started your journey. Who is Miriam? Where were you, prior to your journey? Maybe a little bit about, who you are.
Well, I'm, as I said, Miriam Respes. I was a former chef, working as a chef, long hours, and pretty much ignoring myself and my health. Being able to walk occasionally, but with being a chef, it's very time consuming. So I was basically married to the job.
Mm.
And
A local restaurant here in town, or
restaurant, actually catering facility.
okay.
So
Can you repeat
I
that?
was
I'm sorry, I didn't
a
catch
catering facility.
that. Oh, catering. Okay.
Yes, and
That's a lot of volume. So
yes.
you're doing weddings.
Yes,
You're doing
yes.
big events.
yes, a part of not a chef of many chefs, I should say, and I wasn't the head chef.
Okay.
So working in that area, I was fulfilling initially what I thought was my dream, because I love cooking. So I went to school for that, and got a job in the field. And as I said, working hard, long hours, and basically ignoring myself. And that's where, through a series of illnesses, it brought me to Louise Hay's book, reading Louise Hay's book, because I wanted to change. I saw the book was You Can Heal Your Life. And I said
Right.
to myself, I want to heal my life. I want to change. And this was about 10, 12 years ago.
Okay.
and I was in that trajectory of healing myself. So I began
May I
to read.
ask how, sorry to interrupt, may I ask how you came across the book?
I was listening to Louise Hay. I guess it was a podcast or her radio. That's what it was.
She had a program.
She has, yeah, she has. Well, she's passed now, but I was. It's a Hay House Radio. That's what I was listening to, and they bring on several uh, speech people that
Like guests that come
yes,
on.
yeah,
And,
yes. They bring on several people that inspirational people that, and I was pretty much hooked at that point. And this was a while ago, but I wasn't really um, involved per se as I am now, as far as spirituality goes, because like I'll say me, not I will say reference myself. I was sort of, yeah, I'm going to do this, but I'll see where it goes. I wasn't really, didn't give my all to it, and I put the book down several times. And the last time that I put the book down and I had to pick it up was when I found out that I was diagnosed with cancer, stage 3 cancer.
May I ask how old you were when you were diagnosed?
Oh, I think 47, 48, something like that.
okay.
Yeah. It was in
So again,
summer.
this is around 10 years ago or so?
Yes,
Okay.
about 10 years ago. Yes. I was diagnosed in 2012. So.
And before this, was it just Miriam with the book and the podcast, or did you have a circle of people or
I
support?
never had a circle of people because of the work at the time. When I was just busy. I knew that I needed it and I wanted something different, but I wasn't sure what it was. So I was basically doing it off the cuff, just whatever I would read, whatever I would get through the her radio station, the different guests that she had on the radio, and whatever I could get from that, that's what I was basically doing. And then I really got involved in it, actually expanding a little bit more, reading other books from different artists, and just kind of really diving into it and really committing myself to getting my health and
Yeah.
doing better, getting better. Also was going through some financial issues. So, as I don't know if everyone would agree with this, but along with health, a lot of times you have financial issues as well. So I was dealing with that, and it was a long. I'm still in it, and I believe that I'm not saying that it's going to be a struggle, but I think that we go through certain challenges
Yeah.
that we have to. It's a part of life. That life is calling, and we have to answer the call to those challenges. And I was resistant to it, for quite some time. And I think with the diagnosis of cancer, it just really struck me, and I said, I need to do something, and I
Yeah.
need to do something now and quick. So Louise Hay was basically the start of it.
Do you mind if we that's thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
I wanted to pause for a second
Sure.
and you're leading up to the diagnosis. So you're a chef, you're working around the clock, catering facility. At that time, you're still didn't have the diagnosis,
No.
but you came across Louise Hay.
Yes.
So you started getting familiar with the material, and
Mhm.
it sounds like it might have been speaking to you,
Yes.
kind of
Yes.
calling to you. And
Yes.
you put the book down, pick
Yeah.
the book up again.
Because of fear, I allowed the fear. I didn't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So fear gets you fear is of the unknown.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know exactly. I was listening to the radio station, but like 1 foot in and 1 foot out type
Okay.
of thing.
Okay. What was the draw?
The draw was that I know I wanted to get better, and I needed to get better. So that was my draw, is to get healthy, get back to, where I need to be, the way I need to feel, and everything's about feeling. I needed to feel like me again,
Mm.
and not like the sick part of me that I created on my own, because everything is a creation.
So you're dabbling with
We're-
Louise today.
Yes.
What's that, Stace?
Sorry, I went and grabbed the book.
That's
Nice.
exactly
There it is.
That's
Yeah.
it. Definitely.
Yeah,
Thank you,
these are like
Stacy.
all my bookmarks in there. We can
Yes.
reference it if you want to, if there's certain things that really stand out for you.
Oh, that's great. So you're dabbling with the book.
Yes.
You're in and out.
Mhm.
You're working, just around the clock.
Mhm.
You're feeling a lot of maybe stress, and you
Definitely.
want to kind of find that inner peace, maybe,
Yeah.
or is that kind of where you are?
Definitely.
And then what led up to the diagnosis was there? So you're still kind of dabbling with the book, and then do you mind maybe sharing a little bit about what was leading up to the diagnosis and
Right.
how things kind of unfolded there?
So female problems, and they had gotten so bad that I had to go.
Okay.
I was in fear of it.
Okay.
So, and then there's another fear. I was in fear of it. So,
Of what it could mean, the
Of what- yeah.
symptoms, and
I lost my mom to cancer, but not the same.
sorry
kind
to
of
hear
type.
that, Miriam.
That's quite all right. This is in '99.
Okay.
So basically almost 10 years later, practically. About 10 years later, that I when I lost my mom, my mindset was, I don't want to get this. I don't want to get this. I don't want to get this. And I don't know if you know, but our words are so powerful. Our words are so powerful. And every time that I said I don't, I was bringing it to me. And I was in fear that it was going to happen. And I basically brought it to me. I created it, because we create through our words. And we create through our feelings and our emotions and everything. And I'm just learning this now. Before, I didn't know that. And but I needed to experience it. And I realize that now. So I am thankful for that experience. It was, a horrible experience.
So you went to the doctor, and then had some tests done.
Yes, I had some tests done.
And what was the diagnosis?
The diagnosis was endometrial cancer.
What is that exactly?
It's your lady parts.
Okay. Enough said.
It had, how I knew that there was something wrong, was because I had a very heavy menstrual cycle.
Okay.
And it had always been heavy, and I thought that I ignored it. I didn't think that, it's no big deal. I'm Miriam, so I'm going to get through this. It's not a big deal. It's a little bit of bleeding is not a big deal, but the universe was like, no, you need to deal with this, and you need to deal with it quickly. So finally, I got up the nerve to find out that what I was fearing, I brought to me, the cancer. Not that I'm blaming, but it is an acknowledgement. And that's what I know that we have to do. Is we have to acknowledge what our thought patterns are, and what my thought pattern was, and what things were going through out of my head, the anxiety. And at the time, I wasn't happy where I was working. So coupled with all that, the financial issues and everything, that goes along with it, I caused a lot of stress to myself. A lot of times, I'll say myself, I tended to, say that, this can't happen to me, because this is not real. I can ignore it and it'll go away. And like I said, the universe said, no way, you have to deal with what's going on. So that's what I did. I found out that I was in August, no, the end of July, I found out of 2012. I found out that I had stage three cancer, and that I would have to go through chemo and radiation. Um, that's if I was fortunate to be able to be a part of a trial
Okay.
that only required that I would do 4 rounds of chemo,
Okay.
and that was it. And I prayed for that trial because I didn't want to go through the chemo because I heard so many things.
Yeah.
The the stories. Still in the fear, but not as bad because I was using Louise Hay's book to reading it, and she has a lot of affirmations in the book. There's that book had become my Bible basically. And I kid you not, I was religiously doing the things that she would suggest, and affirmations, a lot of affirmations. I made up my own affirmations, so much so that I can't find. It was in a. I had it in a computer, on a computer, but that computer is no longer. It's gone, so
Uh-huh.
that it's gone. But I made up.
It's with you. It's in you.
Yes.
Yes.
I made up an affirmation that like convince myself, that helped me to convince myself that the cancer was gone. And through affirmation, through belief system, through a lot of praying, and I don't want to say hoping and wishing, but it is hoping. I was able to get myself through that, and and then go on that journey with the chemo and the radiation. I had radiation for 30 days.
Wow.
I didn't have to. I didn't lose my hair. I lost my hair with the chemo, not with the.
You did?
Yes, everything. I lost my hair completely. I was bald.
Yeah.
But I thought I was in the clear when after the radiation. I said, "Oh my goodness, this is great," And then I found out. Well, they didn't tell me I was going to lose my hair. I was combing my hair at one time, and then my hair was coming out, and that's when I
Oh,
know,
wow.
oh boy,
Yeah.
this is
Miriam,
this is it.
do you have a favorite affirmation that you were using then?
I loved her affirmation, all is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come, and I am safe. That really tends to calm you down. It calmed me down. Um, that was one of the big ones, and I say that all the time, even now, when I'm nervous about something, or I'm anxious, or I throw myself into fear. Fear is something that we do because of how do
Well,
you say it?
it's a natural human response, right?
Yes,
Fear
yes, it is.
protects
It
us.
is.
It
It
helps us
is.
run, gets that fight or flight in motion, right?
Correct,
So
correct.
that
And
is perfect.
it is natural, and I'm not blaming myself. Um, um, Not now, before
Right.
not now, before
Before you were aware.
yes, before I was
yeah.
aware of it. I was, I said to myself, oh my goodness, what did I do? And I asked God, what did I do? Why is this happening to me? And and the answers came as I got deeper into my path.
Yeah.
My realization, my awareness, where I started from and where I am now is so much different than my belief system. Believing in myself more. That's really big. Is having self belief, self worth. You have injuries from childhood and things of that nature, and I've learned to uh, work myself through those. There's the guy's name is the anxiety guy.
Hmm.
I can't remember his name. I think his name I can't remember his name. I don't want to butcher that. But if you look up the
The
anxiety
anxiety
guy,
guy.
he was he was
Catchy name.
instrumental, and I know
Wow.
he was
Was he a person
a
on the Louise Hay?
former. No,
He
he was
wasn't
a
against.
former tennis pro. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't remember his name, but I came across that I was always on YouTube just
Yeah.
looking, just searching and looking for things to help me cure myself and to just to feel
Yeah.
better about myself. He's got so many affirmations, so many. He's got what do you call it?
Dennis Simsek.
Simsek.
Dennis.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
nice,
it.
Dennis.
Stace.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Good
Yes,
And
find.
he's a former. He's a former tennis
Tennis
star.
player. Yeah.
A former tennis star, and he suffered from anxiety
Okay.
and fears and things of that nature. And I got that not his book, but I looked at a lot of his I guess podcast, YouTube,
Yeah.
information, and he's got a lot of meditation on there that will help anyone out. It was very, very, um, very helpful for me,
That's
and
great.
I would definitely suggest anyone if you're in fear
Uh-huh.
and anxiety or anything like that to try that out. And be patient with yourself because as I did,
Mhm.
I beat myself up a lot for this is not going to work. I can't do this type of
Unhelpful
attitude.
thinking
Yes,
and
yes, and with him, and with Louise Hay, you listen once you start, acclimating to the things that they're saying, and you're opening yourself to it. That you have to be open to it, and you're opening yourself to it. It helps out immensely. It really
Yeah.
does.
And Miriam, can we go just back in time for just a
Sure.
moment, if you don't mind? Were you raised in a particular religion or any kind of spiritual discipline?
I was raised in a religion. I don't wish to say which religion.
Hmm.
I am more spiritual now than religious. I know that there is a higher power. I don't. I don't have anything against religion, but I
Hmm.
am not. I'm not a religious. I don't
Hmm.
you
follow
don't kind of label
religion.
yourself as a
Correct.
But you
religious
kept
person.
you kept the spirit, you kept the essence of the spirituality, it sounds like.
Correct.
And
Yes.
during your recovery, I'm just curious if you felt in contact with your mom. I know she had passed, but was that part of your journey at all?
Um, I had, that's funny. My mom, I felt that I was disconnected from my mom a while ago after she had passed. Once I was lamenting the fact that I didn't get a chance. I was with my mom when she passed away. I was lamenting the fact that I didn't get a chance to tell her that I loved her.
Hmm.
And it bothered me for the longest time.
Yeah.
One night, I dreamt a dream, and she came to me in my dream where I used to live,
Great.
and it was at the kitchen, and I knew she had passed away. And I said to her, I said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "You don't belong here. You're not supposed to be here." I said, "Why are you here?" And she said, she didn't say anything, but it was the expression because I don't know. In dreams, they don't really talk. At least it doesn't seem like to me.
Okay.
She wasn't talking, but it was just the energy between us. I felt or knew what she was saying.
Like a direct
What I
knowing.
Yes,
Like a direct
it was what I interpreted as in the dream that she was telling me that everything was going to be okay, and that she loved me. And I told her I
Oh,
loved her,
Oh,
and I
Miriam.
told her you have to go. And then
oh
that was the
wow.
last time that I.
Oh, Miriam.
It's okay.
Oh wow, Miriam,
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
That was the
Thank you for
last time.
sharing
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. That was
That's
the last time that I spoke to my mom or I had any,
sense of
uh,
contact.
yeah,
Yeah.
any type of. But since then, because I guess I made peace with it,
Mhm.
and
Hmm.
I wasn't so. Um, agitated that I didn't get a chance to speak to her, tell her that I loved her.
Mhm.
And she gave me the sense that she knew. And after that, she left, and I was fine. And that was part of helping me also heal. And this was,
Is this, I guess, after your
this
diagnosis?
is prior to my diagnosis, actually, I believe. Well, it might have been just around in that same time. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
I need to.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to push pause for a second,
Yes.
Stace. We're back. And yeah. So, just going
While
with
we were
your
sitting
journey.
here. Oh,
I'm
go ahead.
sorry?
Sorry. No, no, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for sharing that about your mom and your connection and the dream. And it's really deep, very powerful, very emotional. Yeah, it's a wonderful moment for you.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that you had that moment.
Yeah.
So I was kind of curious. The Louise Hay material, and actually Stacy was kind of thumbing through it a little bit. Uh, it really is powerful, and I talk with Stacy all the time about the power of affirmations
Yes.
and the power of thoughts, and
Yes.
you know, there's just so much there.
Yes.
And sometimes I refer to it as like there's layers of the auric field, so to
Mhm.
speak, the field that's around the human body,
Mhm.
and the affirmations are kind of journeying through those layers, going back to the core and the essence that's within. And the affirmations are a beautiful portal or gateway there.
Mhm.
So thank you for sharing. Do you mind sharing that affirmation one more time? That
Sure. Sure. All is well.
all is well.
Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come, and I am safe.
I love it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It-
Yeah.
And
And we were talking about, I'm sure you're familiar with the back part of Louise Hay's book where she lists different diagnoses. And does it resonate with you? Because, I mean, cancer is obviously a very big topic with, many different manifestations. And this is, one line. Would you like me to read what it says about
Sure.
cancer?
Sure.
Okay. So it has, for anyone who's not familiar, the columns are problem, probable cause, and new thought pattern to follow. And then it's in alphabetical order, starting with abdominal cramps. Okay, so cancer, it says that's the problem, and the probable cause. And I have to say, just I want to preface it by sometimes I get a little bit uneasy, when I look at these for myself because I feel like, well, wait a minute, is that true? So I want to say, like, we don't. It could be true, right? But maybe not for everybody, or maybe not every part of it.
it's a personal journey.
It
Thanks.
it is a personal journey, but I believe that there is some truth in it if we allow it to be truth. If we allow the truth to come out for us, if we
Mhm.
allow to basically our truth to come out.
Beautiful.
Because, as I said before, I was in a lot of denial. And sometimes you have to really recognize and say, whoa, wait a minute. This is not this person over there. This is me. This is
Mm.
really me. And that's where I had to go in order for me to get the healing that I needed. You have to be honest with yourself. It's not Honesty is not beating yourself up. And when I first started out, that's what I did. And unbeknownst to me at the time, I was harming myself more because of my belief system
Mhm.
and the words that I was speaking. It is in the way I was feeling. So what she says in that book, for me, I believe it's true. And if you are if you allow yourself to not beat yourself up, but be the honesty of it, it's I'm not calling or saying that people are going to be dishonest. But I know for myself, I'm referring
Sure.
to myself, that I wasn't honest to myself, to where I said, I want healing, but I want it in this way. And the universe doesn't do that way. The universe says, this is the way you're going to heal. And this is the way that if you choose to heal properly, this is the way you're going to do it.
Mhm.
And I had to say, okay, I'm all in. And I had to lay down all of my inhibitions. And I was fearful. False evidence appearing real.
Sounds like there's some
Sure.
surrender there.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
And
Absolutely.
Gil, you and I have talked about this. Does it resonate with you that denial is like a blanket? I like to think of it that way. It's a more gentle way because we all need denial in a way. It protects us, from, and then when we're ready to
Yes.
give that one up,
That's a good
then
analogy. That's a
Yes,
maybe
really
there's
good
another
it
one.
analogy.
is. It
Yeah.
truly is.
It's almost like, and I feel like it's, the universe gives us that, it's a shield. It's a shield, because we're not always ready to step right
We
in.
beat ourselves up. We beat ourselves. We are our own best critic, whatever, abuser or whatever. We abuse ourselves, unfortunately. It's not that we say, oh, I'm going to go abuse myself. But because of society norms and things of that nature, we get entranced into what's going on in society, and instead of paying attention to ourselves and really not caring about what other people think and say, but directing it to ourselves and saying, well, how can I place a question to yourself, which I do often, or I have I'm getting used to it, is asking myself questions. Okay, if something happens that I don't like, I ask myself, what part of this is my responsibility? Where can I change, or what do I need to change? How can I help this situation along? And I find when I do that, it doesn't put a blame, but helps me to take the responsibility that is needed for anything that goes along in our life. We need to take the responsibility. A lot of times I shirk that responsibility, not beating myself up, but it's a recognition that, hey, listen, you know what? And it comes with maturity also.
Sure, absolutely. And you know what? It's like a beautiful evolution of
Yes,
where you are,
yes.
where you've
And that's
been.
what
It's
life
like
is.
really just growing and
Yes.
seeing things from a higher level,
Yes.
a deeper level.
Mhm.
So I actually want to expand on that, but real quick, Stacy was
I'm
flipping
sorry.
through. What was that last column that you had there for?
Oh, sure. Okay. So, should I read the cancer?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Sure.
Please.
So we have the problem, and then we have the probable cause, which is, according to Louise Hay, deep hurt, long-standing resentment, deep secret or grief eating away at the self, carrying hatreds, and an attitude of what's the use.
Hmm.
Um,
What's the affirmation for?
Yeah, let's go to the affirmation. So the new affirmation or new thought pattern that she recommends is, I lovingly forgive and release all of the past. I choose to fill my world with joy. I love and approve of myself.
Beautiful. Thanks for reading that, Stacy.
And that's what you do have to come to, that the acceptance of who you are, because deep down in your core, we are spiritual beings, and we tend to forget that in all the processes of
Distractions
Spiritual
and
beings having a human
humanness,
experience,
I should
right?
say. I'm sorry.
Of spiritual beings having a human experience, right?
Yes,
There you go.
definitely, definitely.
Wow, beautiful. So, the dream, you got diagnosed, you got selected for the the treatment,
The trial,
right? You
correct.
prayed for the trial, you got in there. So the Louise Hay material, your belief system changing, you're going through the treatment, and then do you mind walking us through a little bit, of your recovery?
I continue to, do the affirmations with Louise Hay. Continue reading her book. I then began after I was searching for other things because Louise Hay is excellent. I love it as a beginning type of initial, I guess, defensive, if you want to call it. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
Initial,
it's definitely a great intro. For me, it
yes,
was also an intro, and I feel
yes,
like if you've been introduced to this book somewhere in your life, look out, something's going to happen.
yeah, and
Everyone I
that
talk
is so
to
true.
who's
Good,
That
come
is
across
good.
this book, it's like sort of a catalyst for like,
mhm,
here you go, here we go,
yeah,
hang on.
yeah.
And I kind of when I think of that book, I feel like it's a really supportive set of wings to help you fly through
Without
what
a
might be
doubt.
coming, and
Hmm.
what you're going through
In the past, yep.
in the past. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you said that about the past because it has a lot to do with healing your past, and
Mhm.
most of our wounds, if you will, they come from the past, and from what might have happened when you were younger, and you're still holding on to maybe what someone did or what someone said, and you're still holding on to that, and or you get or have an experience of something that happened in the past, so it brings up the past,
Mm.
and that's why they always say to let go of the past, release the past. But we,
Not so
as
easy.
I do at different times, it's kind of, you start to listen, you start to see, oh, well, in the past, this happened and that happened. And,
Right, right.
so it's best to release the past or try to, control it as much as possible. It's better to let it go.
I was curious, as you're recovering, and we're talking about, Stacey had mentioned the importance of healing the past.
Mhm.
And in my experience, like you were saying, the past needs to be, healed, and let go and released.
Yes.
Um, and the journey, from what I've experienced and what I've seen, is really this journey of going within, and yeah, of kind of healing all those wounds that are, kind of closer to the core, that keep recycling in
Yes.
different, environments and different
Yes.
things. So, and during your recovery process, I wasn't sure if you had any connections that you might have made. If not, that's fine. But um, of healing some of those wounds or some of those experiences from the past that maybe catapulted or helped your recovery.
Yes. I believe that definitely the going back, as you said, and then it's coming. The more you
Going within.
deal, yeah, and go within, and that's the key, is to go within. You have to do that work that I didn't want to do. I definitely didn't want to do, and most people don't, unfortunately. But that is the key to our healing,
Mm.
and it is the key to my healing. I'm always going to be in the process of healing because I'm not. Um, I'm on my journey. I'm on my journey. I'm on my journey of recovery. As far as health, I am. I consider myself very healthy.
So,
Prior to this, not so much. I dealt with high blood pressure,
Mhm.
was on medication. I mentioned that I was an asthmatic, no
Mhm.
longer an asthmatic. And I know for a fact that going through this journey, trying to heal myself using Louise Hay's book as an initial factor,
The
or the
catapult.
catapult to get
Yeah,
me to,
yeah. Door
and
opening.
yes, and to now I look at or listen to a lot of Bruce Lipton.
Oh, I've heard of Bruce.
He powerhouse. And one word, 2 words, whatever.
Powerhouse. I
Powerhouse.
love it.
It's a what is that called? The Biology of Belief is his book. That's
Mm.
one of his books, but he talks about how our belief systems have created what is going on in our life. Not to blame. There's no blame. It's just a realization.
Yeah, thanks for saying that.
Just a
Yeah.
recognition and recognizing um, our part, my part, in what has transpired in my life as well as everyone else's life.
Yeah.
Because we are the how do they say? We are the controller of our body.
Mm.
We don't like to think so. We like to think that it's something out there. But I know I did. I thought that there was something out there. It's not me. That's why I ignored it. My health issues, because it's not me, and it'll take care of itself, and I don't have to worry about that. But in listening and allowing myself to be open and opening up to what I know now that I needed.
Yeah.
Opening up to that and allowing the process, as opposed to resisting, because I totally I am the
Yeah.
queen of resistance.
So it sounds like
Aren't we all?
so it sounds like you're going back to your recovery. You're going through the chemo. You're in that trial. It sounds like there's a lot of letting go.
Yes.
And being aware that allowing the flow to take place. Not as much resistance, or maybe minimal, and
Right.
and then you start recovering.
I think I was recovering. To be honest with
Sure.
you,
Yeah.
I didn't think that I needed to have the surgery.
Okay.
I had the surgery for cancer, that was in August of 2012. And at the time when I was really into reading Louise Hay and doing the affirmations, and forming my own affirmations. And I believe, by the way, when you do your own affirmations as opposed to using someone, there's nothing wrong with it as a start. But to form your own affirmations, because it's coming from you, it's more believable. So if you can do your own affirmations and form your own affirmations that is believable to you, you're number one, you're going to continue to do it. And you're going to feel comfortable with doing it, because it's not something that, what is the lady? Esther Hicks. I think it's Esther Hicks. She says, when you first start off with affirmations, you start to say, I don't believe that, and this is not me, and you have all the negatives that come up, and that's normal. You're going to have that, but you have to kind of keep going with it. Don't give up. That's what I say.
So
Don't give up.
Yeah, absolutely. Come up with your own along the way.
Yeah.
And you feel like you didn't need the surgery. You felt as though you were
At that time,
kind of going in the flow.
Correct.
And you really felt as though
I felt that I didn't need to have the surgery. I felt that I was cancer free at the time, because one of my affirmations were, I am healthy, I am healed, I am cancer free.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's what I was going to bring up, is that she's always in the moment, right? That's very important for an affirmation.
Yeah, thanks, Stacey.
It's not to I'm going to be, but I am.
Yes. Present moment. Always any affirmation that you create, it always should be stated or created in the present moment. I am, I have.
Yeah.
That is so powerful. It's so powerful. I mean, when you get really deep, and you understand that you are, a being of light, or a spiritual being, and that there's, other things taking place, multidimensional things.
Yes.
And here, time and space is really kind of like a different construct. The essence of how you feel in the present moment is everything.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you tapped into that.
I believe I have, and I've taken it for granted, a lot, and I'm more and more getting more into it. I do have my setbacks.
Sure, we all do. Absolutely.
But I'm just, speaking truth and being real. I don't want anyone to think that, oh, she's, got this, because I've had other issues. I, had a brain tumor or in 2017.
2017, what
Wow.
happened?
I had a brain aneurysm.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And that to me, that was the universe, just, you still got work to do, basically. And because had gone through all the things with listening to Louise Hay, and this is how I got more involved in it. I went deeper. And you have to go deep. You can't stay on the surface with
Yeah.
things of this nature.
Wow.
You have to go deep. You really do.
Wow. So you're cancer free.
I'm cancer free.
That happened, back
2012. Yes.
2012, and then you're recovering. You're recovered, and
Yes.
you're really
Yes.
understanding the material, who you are, at a deeper level, and then the aneurysm comes through, and you go even deeper.
Yes. In 2017, I was actually walking at the park with my sister one summer, and we were doing jump. Not this park, right? It's another park. We were jump ropes and trying to lose weight and whatnot, and we were running up and down the steps and doing all things, and I was jumping a rope, and then she asked me if I wanted to switch off because my jump rope was a little bit longer, and if she wanted to use my jump rope. So I said, okay, fine. And I put my hand up like this, and I said, one moment, and then she told me I collapsed.
Wow.
I collapsed, and I don't even remember any of this. I remember putting my hand up, but after that, I don't remember. And I was in the hospital for almost 30 days.
Wow. And
30
what was
days.
the prognosis? Were you going to live, or
I
were they?
had a brain aneurysm. I had a brain aneurysm.
Did they say that
a
you were
brain
close to
ble-
death?
It was touch and go.
Yeah.
It was I don't remember a lot of it, just from my sister telling me about the different things. I don't remember a lot of it, but she did tell me that I had, when I was in the hospital, and I did come to probably maybe 10 days after, still foggy, and I kept asking her, what's going on, and she said, you had a brain aneurysm and you're in the hospital. And I'm like, really? Why? What happened? And I was just like, so just
Hmm.
basically out of it. But I got through that also.
Wow.
I got through that because of my knowledge of where I was with the foundation of the Louise Hay and the cancer. So I immediately got in once I had my, some type of clarity and getting myself back to, if you want to call it normal, getting myself back to, where I was. I began to do my affirmations again, and I probably slacked off a little bit because I probably thought that I won't say probably. I'm sure I did. Let's be honest here. I slacked off a little bit, and wasn't really into my spiritual
routine.
It's a discipline, isn't
I
it?
stopped. I'm sorry.
It's a discipline, isn't it?
Yes, it totally is, and you have to stay with it. Present moment, as you say, and that's what keeps you grounded to the fact you have to stay in your present moment. Because when you allow yourself to go out of alignment, you are out of alignment.
And
Wow.
Miriam, was the brain aneurysm at all related to the earlier cancer, or no?
They never said that. I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't think so. I don't know.
Okay.
Wow. So what a journey.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
journey. And you know, gosh, so the cancer, and the doctor said you're in remission, everything is going really well. Um, Brain aneurysm comes through. You go a little bit deeper. You get back into the discipline that Stacey's talking
Yes.
about.
Yes.
So, we didn't know you prior to these,
No.
and meeting you at the park, I can feel your light. I can feel the essence flowing. Where are you today? Are you still cooking? Are you?
I'm no longer
How are you
cooking.
shining your light, so to speak?
I'm no longer cooking. I'm trying to develop something for spiritually for everyone. Not ready to divulge it just yet.
Sure, exciting.
But I'm going in this more of a spiritual realm for everyone, to benefit everyone. It's slow
Okay.
going, but I'm going at the pace that the universe wants me to go at.
Beautiful.
You feel called to share your experiences and your
I
your
feel
way
that
of recovering.
I feel that I've been called to share what my experience has been with illness, and it's not a death sentence unless your belief system says, which when I first started out, that's the way I felt, that, oh my God, I'm going to die. I'm not going to make this. And, uh, with Louise Hay's knowledge and various other, listening to her radio station, it gave me the confidence to keep going. And you have to keep going. You can't stop. And even if you do stop, you got to get back up. You got to get back up, because there is the journey is never ended. We're always going to go through challenges. I always will have a challenge, but I'm opening myself more and more to the challenges. Not that I'm not looking for the I hope you hear me. I'm not looking for the challenge, but
yeah. Miriam's good now. We're good. Miriam's good now. She doesn't need anything.
Yes.
Your journey has been plenty.
Yes.
And
but going to science for a moment. I mean, we know that they've studied people who pray, and people who have a spiritual discipline, and those who don't. And those who do, we know that they tend to be healthier, they recover faster. And yet, you're not told those things in the hospital when you're in critical condition, are you?
No, not at all. They tell you what medications you're going to take and what you need to do. The different, and I'm, medicine is fine when you believe in it. I no longer do, and that's my experience for myself. I'm not saying that everyone should do that, because you have to go by what is best for you. I no longer take medicine. I had high blood pressure. I walk. I do the things. I eat organically. I now have become, I don't want to say a vegan, but have become more vegetarian. Probably the last 5 years, maybe. I've always been organic, eating organically. And I do still eat meat occasionally, but I haven't had meat in, I don't know how long. I'm doing a lot of plant-based. It's a lot of soul, mind, and body. You have to, when you go through certain things, you have to be in the realm of these, taking care of the soul, the mind, and the body. It's what you eat, what you think, what you believe, sort of thing, and that's definitely has been one of the things that I keep in the forefront of my mind. Is to, soul, mind, and body.
Do you mind if I stay on that for a minute? So I love it, right? The mind, body, and spirit, right? You gravitated away from traditional pharmaceutical medication, really taking care of yourself, eating, what feels good for you. taking care of your body, following the affirmations that you make that feel good for you. Um, One of the things that I like to talk about is it's one thing to to know about doing those things, right? So for if you're talking with someone, like checking the boxes, like
Right.
okay, I got a massage today, right? Oh, I'm going to eat this salad instead of a hot dog,
Right.
or you're kind of going through the
Gil eats
uh,
hot dogs.
for Father's Day, I was joking with Stacy. We went
With
to
ice cream.
yeah, hot
Oh,
dogs
okay.
and ice cream.
I
It was
love
very,
ice cream.
oh my god.
I do, naughty things.
Yeah.
I eat what I want to eat, but I eat it with less guilt.
That's where I was going with it. So
Yes.
like what I was kind of like circling around, and you just hit it.
Yes.
Um, doing those things are important, obviously, but the connection to those things, the relationship, I think one of the overarching themes that I come across is the self love.
Yes.
And if you're doing it on a deeper level than the
Yes.
surface, right? So you're like eating something because you really love yourself,
Yes.
and it feels good to have this glass of water,
Mhm.
and it's just nourishing your body, and there's like a connection with something deeper.
Mhm.
The affirmations, it's one thing to know about the affirmations, it's another thing to really feel them and believe them
Yes.
and love them.
Yes.
One of the things I talk with Stacy about a lot is for me, unconditional divine love is everything
Yeah.
for yourself.
That definitely for self is the biggest key. You have to have a self worth, a self love, self belief, because this is you. This is the only, as they say, meat suit that you have. Um, this is it. And if you don't take care of it in all the forms that we need to take care of it, through eating, through drinking, through sleeping, through thinking, whatever it is, and it's a little bit of in moderation. Everything in moderation is it's fine. I wouldn't say I don't do anything religiously. If I want to have a beer, I have the beer. If I want to have a glass of wine, I'm going to have the glass of wine
Sure.
because it's going to make me feel good, and that's the key. That's a part of loving myself, because myself wants the beer, so myself is going to get the beer when myself wants the beer.
And going back to science just for a second, I don't know. I just love when the two worlds meet, the science and the less, concrete, touchy, the more touchy feely things. Um, I read a study, I know it's pretty popular, about when you actually eat something without the guilt, your immune system responds better. But when you eat, let's say, a piece of chocolate cake with all that guilt, going in, like, hiding in the corner, the immune system kind of shuts down. And
Yeah.
so our bodies listen to us.
Yes.
Great.
Our
Yes.
thoughts are like food. Our thoughts are, just as important as what we put in our bodies. Our thoughts are,
This is so true. So
yeah.
true.
Yeah, that relationship.
Yeah, yeah. But you have
Thanks,
to have
Stacey.
you have to definitely you have to have a healthy relationship with whatever you're eating, especially if someone's trying to lose weight, let's say, and they're saying, "Oh, I can't have this and I can't have that," and you really, really want it, so you're basically doing a double negative. Because
Mhm.
I was heavy also, so
Oh, you were?
I was a lot heavier.
How much weight did you lose, Miriam?
I'm sorry.
How much weight did you lose? Do you mind sharing?
Oh, almost 100 pounds. Yeah.
Wow.
I was a chef,
Wow.
remember?
I'm good. I follow the food, so I'm with you on that. I enjoy food.
And I love to eat, and I love to cook, so that has not gone away. That has never gone away.
So at the beginning of your spiritual journey, you were 100 pounds heavier than you are now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I struggle with weight. I've always been, when I was a kid, always been heavy on the heavier side. And I battled with it. Now I'm okay. If I gain some weight, if I gain 20, 30 pounds, I don't beat myself up. Oh, look at you, you're so fat.
Mm.
I don't go
Mm.
there. I tell myself that everything's okay. And 9 chances out of 10, the reason why I've gained weight is because of something that I have going on within me that I need to change. It always goes back, not blaming or beating myself up, but there's something that I need to change. Perhaps it's a thought pattern that I have connected to that I may need to release. So there's always reasons why things happen, but we have to do the investigation, not beating ourselves up again, because
Yeah.
we're so. I want to stress that there's no good that comes to beating yourself up
Yeah.
through anything that we go through. We have to love ourselves immensely because we come from love. God is love. God is good. So we have to,
That unconditional
yes,
love,
that
right?
unconditional love. We have to give that to ourselves, which we are not taught or some people may be, but society doesn't even tell us how to love ourselves. And I state that because look at how many people try to change their nose and their face and the this and the that. I want to lose weight, but I'm not going to lose it the conventional way or the normal way. I'm going
Self-loving
to
way.
the self-loving way. I'm going to lose weight to maybe take a pill or and if that's okay, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. However, when you put in that self-love, self-respect, and know that everything is going to happen in its time, and be allowing of the things to happen, not resisting, as I was saying before, of certain things, they will come, and everything is a process, and everything comes as long as we're doing the work, the inner work that we
Yeah.
need to do to get it
Absolutely.
done. Yeah,
I love that.
yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for
That's
sharing that.
beautifully said, Miriam.
Stacy, do you remember? It might have been in Hands of Light. I think it might have been Hands of Light. I don't know if you remember this or not, or Light Emerging with Barbara Brennan, where someone was going through cancer, and they took sticky notes and they put the word love on the sticky notes, and
Okay.
they stuck it on the chemo treatment,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then they stuck it on like a glass of water, so that way everything that they saw that was going into them
Right.
had the connection, like, oh, yeah, that's love. That's love for me right now.
Okay.
This is love for me right now. And it's that reminder. Uh, does that sound familiar to you, Stacy? Was that in?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it does, and also, she does in her Barbara Brennan. Gil and I are both students at the Barbara Brennan School of Healing. I think he might have
Okay.
mentioned to you, and she does talk about conventional medicine and how it has its place.
Yes, I agree.
And it does save lives, and but to approach it with in a holistic way, with self acceptance and acceptance, with trying to overcome the fear, by
Yes.
accepting it, like Gil said, with
I
love, by
I
taking it in.
totally agree with that, and that's what I was trying to say is you have to release the fear and do some self introspection. Uh, and I think when you do things of that nature, it helps you to, as I said, I use the chemo and whatnot, but now that I have gotten myself to the place where I can basically heal myself through my affirmations and whatnot because of my belief system and what I believe, and that has helped me to heal. We are all healers. We can heal ourselves through our thought pattern.
I agree with you.
With the recent COVID, I never got COVID because I never allowed that to come into. I never accepted it as where everyone was saying, "Oh, this is going to happen. This is going to happen." It did not come into my field of possibilities, and
Wow, I want to give you a high five virtually.
I'll piggyback.
that
Awesome.
you have to you have to be careful of what you're allowing to come into your field of possibilities or what can and cannot happen for you. This is why I believe that my healing I've been able to heal myself through my thoughts and belief system, believing myself, loving myself, having self-worth, and not caring about, oh well, what are they thinking about me, and what is that person. I let go of that fear for the most part, because I told you earlier that I have a lot of fear. Like I don't know if I I mentioned that earlier, that I'm very very quiet, soft spoken. You wouldn't believe it the way I'm talking now, but
You're opening up, Miriam.
Yeah, I'm getting more comfortable.
You are.
Uh, I'm very reticent and very pretty much keeping to myself type of person, an empath, if you will. And I keep to myself, so I'm trying to break myself out of my norms of staying to myself. That's one of the reasons why I agreed to do the podcast with Gilbert, is because I wanted to expand and push myself to my limits, push my limits, as from my fear. I was always afraid to do things of this nature, but I'm pushing myself and opening up different avenues for myself.
Wow.
I know I am.
We were meant to meet, Miriam.
Yes, I know we were. I know.
Miriam,
I felt it.
can I go to like kind of a practical level? Let's say you're in like on a crowded train, or somewhere where there's bound to be tons of germs, and and COVID is in the atmosphere, or it's had an
Mhm.
around here at least there's been kind of an upsurge. What's happening with you on the inside? Are you saying anything to yourself? Are you kind of do you wear a mask? I mean, have, if you don't mind.
No, I don't wear a mask, and it's not in my field of possibility. And
Mm,
as long as it's not in my field of possibility, it's just like my belief system is that I'm fine. I am, even if someone comes to me, I don't know who has what, but I do not allow that. And if you listen to Bruce Lipton, Dr. Bruce Lipton, you can basically, he's on a YouTube and he has a lot of things. But this is where I am now with when I said earlier, I listened to Dr. Bruce Lipton. It's the biology of belief is what you allow your belief system, because we control our beliefs. If I believe that this is blue and you say, no, 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 this is green, and I keep telling you it's blue, to me it's blue, but to you it's green. It's that might be a kind of weird.
No, I hear you. I completely
I
hear
thought it
you.
was
I hear you.
gray, so
I'm sorry.
I thought it was gray, so
Yeah.
I'm with you. I
Yeah,
totally hear what you're saying.
it depends on what you allow, what your belief system is. I don't allow. The norm is to be, because that's what's out here in society, is to be fearful. I don't allow the fear to come into my system. I don't. I stop it at the door. It's not going to
mm,
penetrate me, because once I allow that fear to come in, then I'm going to, oh my gosh, I'm going to go like I did with my mom when I was fearful of getting cancer, which sure enough, because I allowed it and I said, this is going to happen. I know it's going to happen. This is the, I'm going to get cancer. I'm going to get cancer. And sure enough, I did. And for me, because I allowed that into my field of possibility, I said, I'm going to get cancer. I am is very powerful. Those words are very powerful. And when I was stating that, I brought that to me, not beating myself up, but I recognized what transpired to that I had to go through the whole experience of dealing with cancer. And I believe it was an experience that I needed to go through. It it was one of those things for me to push my boundaries, um, to basically believe in myself, to believe that I can do this, and everyone can do it if you allow yourself that self belief and self worth and self care and everything to self, and not worrying about what's Johnny doing over there, or what It's a
Speak it,
self.
Miriam. Speak it. And it
Yeah.
sounds like a lot of what you're saying. The fear, the resistance, the self love may have been culminations of maybe growing up, past
Yes.
experiences,
Yes.
and not only with your mom, but maybe even in school or in
Yes. Yeah.
family life, and
Anything.
it came
Yeah.
up, and here it was a beautiful opportunity
Yeah.
of a very big challenge,
Yeah.
and then another challenge, and you went deeper,
Yeah.
and you started being more aware.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
We're required to do that, to be more aware of what's going on present moment,
Yeah.
because and when we're in present moment, we can only deal with what's going on. We can't deal with what happened back there because it's done. It's
Mm.
done. I can't bring my mom back. I can't bring her back. I can only love her for what, releasing. Not that I had any issues with my mom or my dad, but releasing some of the things that had me in that self worth type of not good enough type of experience
Inner
or what have you.
judgment, or
Yeah. Being such an empath, being so quiet, I didn't, and when I was a young kid, I didn't feel good about myself because I, was so quiet. People criticized me because, I was quiet and, whatever, thought to be stupid or whatever. I don't know.
sure, sure.
But, when you're a kid, those things play on you, and
Sure.
you keep being a quiet person. You just keep going over that, keeps on going over in your mind. Oh,
Replaying, yeah.
right. I'm not good enough because this person didn't accept me, and that person said I was this, and and then you take that in and you walk along your next journey. You go into your 20s and you think you're all this, but you're really not. And you keep walking, and these are the things that I had to drop off. I had to let go, and realizing it now, it is very cathartic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're light, you're
Yeah,
Yeah,
aware.
you're both like just beaming over there.
As are you,
And
Stacey.
yeah,
Uh,
I'm going to be science nerd for one more second.
Sure.
So a lot of things that you're saying are reminding me of things I've read about epigenetics. Are you familiar with
oh
that
yeah,
term?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And in Barbara Brennan, they talk about how events and diseases and things are actually sort of in the outer reaches of our fields, our energetic fields. And in hard science, they talk about epigenetics, where, we have the potential to become ill with certain things given the circumstances of our lives. And to me, those two kinds of things sort of relate to what you're saying, as far as, yes, there's cancer in your history, and there's the potential and there's the genetic like, physical third dimensional possibility of getting it. And then all the circumstances that we go through, our thought patterns, and the way we live can actually cause that to happen. So,
Yeah.
so I just want to put out there, it's, yes, partly thoughts, not all thought though, right? Because we're
Right.
not,
Yes.
we're thinking machines, we're all day, and we're conditioned a certain way. So
Correct.
we definitely don't want to blame anyone or
Oh no,
ourselves.
not at all. Blaming doesn't do
Yeah.
anything. You have to. It's a realization, recognition of not beating yourself up, but just a realization, recognition where I'm. What part of this is my doing? What part of this do I need to, or how can I change this to better myself, or what have you, whatever it is. Dr. Bruce Lipton talks about epigenetics, and it's an excellent book. He has something about, I think, a book.
Hmm.
He's a wealth of information,
Yeah.
definitely. So that's
Great.
another.
I want to check it out.
That's awesome. Yeah. We'll have to maybe slide that in, Sam. Yeah, we've learned so much, and I know I want to be respectful of your time, and want to do kind of a recap,
Okay.
of all the things we've learned, or anything, kind of floating around that might want to be said. But Stacy, Miriam, right?
Yeah, so great. So
Stage
great to
three.
have you.
What's that?
So great to have you, Miriam.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I decided to say yes.
Me
I'm
too.
glad because that's I'm learning that also is to say yes. You know, don't. I was always a person that said no because I was reticent. I was fearful of what could happen, what this and what that. And I allowed my monkey mind to get
Yeah,
in the way of things. But
Hmm.
I'm glad I did say yes.
I am too. God, we learned about saying yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Your whole journey. Stage 3 cancer survivor. You're opening to the energy world and the holistic approach and self love.
Can I interject one
Yeah,
thing?
absolutely.
When you were
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about cancer, with my in all of my journey with my health, I never, I don't allow myself to claim any disease.
Mm.
When I was going through the cancer, I said my diagnosis of cancer. I did never said my cancer because it didn't belong to me. We have cancer in our body, and
Well said.
I realized that. And even with the anything that went on with me as far as illness or anything, it is not me. It's not a part of me, and I don't allow it to be. That's what I was saying about the COVID and whatnot. I don't allow it to be a part of me. I'm going to get COVID or what have you. I never said that, so that's why I know that's why
Thanks
my
for saying
belief
that.
system
Yeah.
is not in that realm. So
You have
Yeah.
strong boundaries, it
yes,
sounds like.
yes.
Hmm.
Before, maybe not so much,
Yeah.
but now definitely, without a doubt, without
Wow.
a doubt.
Beautiful.
More of a diagnosis. It's
Yes,
not who you
Hmm.
really are, especially
correct,
on the deepest
correct.
level,
And
right?
I've heard so many people, cancer patients, that will say my cancer, and I'm like, oh my goodness. I kind
Mm.
of cringe,
Yeah.
but that's their journey, and I don't want to tell someone what to say or how to say or how to deal with what they're going through.
Sure.
However, a suggestion
Yeah.
is don't claim it. Don't claim it. My diagnosis of the cancer. It's not.
Right.
It's not a
Right.
part of you, so don't make it a part of you. Same thing with COVID. I hear a lot of people say, "Mike, no, I don't."
Yeah.
COVID is out there.
Reframe
Reframe.
it,
Definitely
right?
reframe.
And then,
Reframe. You can reframe anything. You can reframe anything, and it's powerful. It
yeah.
really is, and the things that I've learned.
Right. I think there's a lot more here, Miriam. I think there might be part 2 and also
Perhaps.
maybe a book. I think there's a lot of people that you're, going to be touching
I hope so.
with your light, with your voice, with
I
your
hope
story,
so.
with your
I really,
passion.
that's why I wanted to do this because I felt that I have a story to tell, and it's not ho hum BS. It's true,
Yeah.
to the best of my knowledge,
Hmm.
and that's all I try to be is to give truth, because that's what we need at this day and stage, in time is we need truth. We need
Thank you,
truth.
Miriam. You're right. We really do. It's this is a perfect time for you to share your story with the world.
Yeah.
So if Stacy or anyone wants to follow you or see what's going on in Miriam's world, is there any? Do you have
Well,
any handles or whatever the kids call it nowadays?
At the moment, no, I do not, because as
Okay.
I said, I'm slowly getting into it. So my life is changing slowly under the guidance of the Creator,
Sure.
of the universe, and I'm following the universe right now.
Beautiful.
That's where I am at my stage here. But if and when, not if and when something develops or
An
there's a
Instagram
change,
page or
definitely,
something out
I will
there.
definitely be glad to share it with you.
We would love
Beautiful.
that. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Stacy,
So
anything
great
floating
meeting you,
around?
Miriam. Sorry.
Oh, any other questions or anything before we start to wrap up on your end?
Um, yeah, I'm just so looking forward to seeing what unfolds. What's next, Miriam? I mean, it sounds like you're living a beautiful life right now, and like I said, you're both just glowing. So
If we have any
thank you
questions
so
about
much.
recipes,
Recipes.
I'll definitely hit
There you
you up and we'll send it
go.
out to
I'm doing a
to all
lot of
those. Yeah,
plant-based stuff now.
good, good.
I unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's funny. I do this plant-based. I don't know if you're gluten-free or what have you,
I
but
eat
it's
everything.
okay.
I am.
Good. You're gluten-free. Oh, we'd have to. I have a friend who's I go visit in North Jersey, and I take desserts to her because she can't have sugars and things of that nature.
Oh,
So
come
I
see
make.
me. I'm the same way.
Oh, yeah.
No sugar, no grain, no
Oh, yeah,
gluten.
no sugar, no grain. Yeah. So I have to adjust all of my recipes for her so I can
Wow.
take, dessert when we go to visit. Me and my sister
This
go to
could be
visit.
another shine your light project for yourself.
Yes.
High vibrational,
Yeah.
desserts or foods that really fit that
Yeah.
category,
Maybe I'll
right?
pass something on.
There you go.
A recipe or whatnot.
Very
So,
That
exciting.
sounds great.
yeah.
Well, don't be a stranger.
I sure won't. Will not.
And thank you so
Definitely.
much for being with us
Thank you.
today.
Thank you.
Yeah, namaste.
I had a good time.
Oh,
Definitely
Thank you,
we
did.
Miriam.
absolutely had a great time with
Good.
you.
I hope that everyone gets something from this. Me speaking my truth and opening up, which was at first difficult for me, but now I'm comfortable with it. So, you know.
Wow. Thank you so much.